Hello everyone, my name is Chris and welcome to my Skyrim Daedric Artifact Guide. Daedric Artifacts are unique items granted to the player by the Daedric Princes of Oblivion after completing their respective quests. It is possible to miss some of the artifacts by choosing to not side with the Daedras, however I will point these out as we go through the list. Collecting all 15 artifacts will also unlock the achievement Oblivion Walker. As always, there are timestamps in the description if you wish to skip to a particular item, but without further ado, let's get into the video. First up is Azura's Star, or alternatively the Black Star. This artifact is essentially a reusable soul gem, allowing you to trap any level of soul for use for enchanting, and is given by the Daedric Prince Azura. This quest has no level requirement and can be done straight away. To acquire this artifact, head to the Shrine of Azura. Head up the stairs to the statue of Azura and speak to Arania. She will state that Azura has chosen the player as their champion and that you must locate an elven mage.
Azura has seen your coming, traveler. It was not curiosity, but fate that has led you here. Azura has given me the gift of foresight. I had a vision of you walking up the steps to this altar, long before you were born. You have been chosen to be her champion. You must go to a fortress, endangered by water, yet untouched by it. Inside, you will find an elven mage who can turn the brightest star as black as night.
To find him, head to Winterhold and enter the Frozen Hearth. Inside, speak to Nelacar and you will need to bribe, persuade or intimidate him to reveal his information.
Dagor and I have an understanding. He gives... Who sent you? Was it the college? The Jarl? We agreed there would be no more questions. Azura. Gods, it's all finally coming back to haunt me. Azura's Star. A Daedric artifact that allows any number of souls to pass through it. Some of us wanted to find out how. I was working under Malin Varen then. If only we knew what he was really planning. It drove him mad. Students started dying. Eventually, the college exiled him. He took a few loyal disciples to Ilinalta's Deep and vanished.
After receiving the information, head to Ilinalta's Deep and make your way through the keep to the top floor until you find the skeleton of Malin Varen. Next to his skeleton will be his grimoire and the broken star of Azura. There are two versions of Azura's Star, and depending on who you return it to will grant you the different stars. Returning to Arania will grant you the Azura's Star, which will only allow white souls to be captured. Returning to Nelacar will grant you the Black Star, and while it states that only black souls can be captured, the Black Star can actually capture both black and white souls. After returning to your chosen person, you will then be sent inside the star as Malin's soul is still inside.
Okay, stand very still. This might sting. First, I'll need to grab hold of your soul. Now, take a deep breath.
And who are you to challenge me? I have conquered mortality itself. I've spat in the eyes of the Daedric Lords. This is my realm now. I've sacrificed too much to let you take it from me.
Once inside, make sure to kill his 3 Dremora guards as they will have a Daedra heart from each of them. Finally, kill Malin where you will then be transported back out of the star and be given your chosen star.
Malin's enchantments are broken. Hold on. I'm going to pull your soul out of there. Brace yourself. The Black Star will never decay, but it can no longer hold the white souls of lesser creatures. You keep it. I'd sooner finally put this chapter of my life behind me. Congratulations. You've changed the fate of a Daedric artifact and lived.
Next up is Dawnbreaker. This artifact is a unique sword and is given by the Daedric Prince Meridia. You will need to be at least level 12 or above to be able to receive the quest for this artifact. Once you're at the required level, you can either head straight to the statue of Meridia, who will command you to return her beacon to the shrine.
A new supplicant approaches. But first, you must restore to me my beacon. I shall guide you unto it. Find it and return here, and great shall be your reward.
Alternatively, you can find Meridia's beacon within random chests before heading to the shrine at any end of dungeon chest. This will start the quest, The Break of Dawn.
A new hand touches the beacon. Return my beacon to Mount Kilcreath, and I will make you the instrument of my cleansing light. Restore to me my beacon, that I might guide you toward your destiny.
After returning the beacon, you will be thrown into the sky where Meridia will command you to kill Malkarin within Meridia's temple.
The necromancer Malkarin defiles my shrine with vile corruptions, trapping lost souls left in the wake of this war to do his bidding. I have brought you here, mortal, to be my champion. You will enter my temple. Of course you will. I have commanded it.
After returning to the ground, you will make your way into the temple and activate pedestals which will guide a white light through the temple, unlocking doors and areas as you go. Make your way through the temple and at the end kill Malkarin. After he is dead, you can loot Dawnbreaker, where you will be thrown back into the sky, where you will have one last conversation with Meridia.
Take the mighty Dawnbreaker, and with it purge corruption from the dark corners of the world. Wield it in my name, that my influence may grow. May the light of certitude guide your efforts.
Dawnbreaker is a unique sword with a base damage of 12 and can be upgraded with an ebony ingot. Dawnbreaker deals an additional 10 points of burn damage, and if killing undead creatures such as Draugr or vampires, has the chance to cause a fiery explosion. This deals damage to nearby undead and makes nearby undead flee from combat. Next up is the Ebony Blade. This artifact is a unique two-handed blade and is given by the Daedric Prince Mephala. You will need to be at least level 20 or above in order to be able to receive the quest. Once you're at the required level, head inside the Bannered Mirror in Whiterun. Once inside, you will need to speak to Holder and ask her if she has heard any rumours until she talks about the Jarl's strange children. This quest can be missable if Holder is killed at any point, as she is the only one who can give the player this quest. If Holder for some reason does not give you the quest and instead repeats rumours she has already told you, then completing those first can fix this.
Been hearing some strange tales of the Jarl's children. Say the one's turning wicked, and the others have an ill-favored look to them. Best to keep clear.
Next, head to Dragon's Reach and speak to the Jarl about his children.
Yes, my youngest son. He's a dark child. I don't know what to do with him. If you could speak to him, draw out the truth, I would be immensely grateful.
After speaking with him, you will need to speak to Nelkir. Doing this will start the quest, The Whispering Door. Speaking with him will reveal that there is a door in the basement.
So, the disgusting pig sent you to bother me. One day, I'll tear his face apart so he can leave me alone. The castle is old. Lots of places nobody's been in a long while. Places where you can overhear things, see things. And the Whispering Lady. In the basement. Trust me, you'll see it. I bet she'll talk to you too. Bye.
Head to the basement and interact with the door. Doing this will allow Mephala to speak with the player.
At last. I've been waiting for someone more fit to carry out my will. I am Mephala, the Lady of Whisper. I tug at the web of connections between mortals. Love, hatred, loyalty, betrayal. First, you must open this door. A piece of my power has been locked away behind it, and even my eyes cannot see past the seals. The Jarl trusts few, and they will be his undoing. The Dark Child knows of what I speak. Let him guide your path.
Once done, head back to Nelkir, who will reveal that there are 2 keys to unlock the Whispering Door, one on the Jarl and the other on the Court Wizard Farengar.
I told you, I know everything about the castle. For some reason, that door is special. Only 2 people can open it. Balgruf and Farengar, the court wizard. How you get it from them is up to you. Nobody would notice if Farengar went missing, I promise you.
Once you've acquired the key, head back to the door, unlock the door and head into the room where the Ebony Blade awaits. Loot the blade where Mephala will give the player some additional information about the blade.
Excellent work. Now, I trust you're sharp enough to see that the sword doesn't match the description of the Ebony Blade you may know. To return to its past glory, it must first drink the blood of deceit. Seek out those closest to you. The final pluck of their misguided heartstrings will accompany my blade in a song of your grandeur.
The blade has a base damage of 11 and a health absorption enchantment of 10 points. The blade's enchantment never degrades and the blade never needs to be recharged. The blade's enchantment damage can also be upgraded by killing friends or people the player has helped with the blade. Every 2 kills with the blade that meets this requirement, the blade's enchantment will increase by 4 points, with Mephala commenting on each upgrade.
I can feel their heartbreak swelling in my blade.
After 10 kills, the blade will reach its max enchantment damage, with the health absorption dealing 30 points of damage.
At last, my blade is returned to its full glory. Now go forth, child. Continue your tiny subversions against the orders of trust and intimacy.
Next up is the Ebony Mail. This artifact is a unique piece of ebony armor and is given by the Daedric Prince Boethiah. You will need to be at least level 30 or above in order to receive the quest. Once you're at the required level, there are 2 ways to receive the quest. The first is a random encounter where a Boethiah cultist will immediately attack the player. On the body of the cultist will be the book Boethiah's Calling. Reading the book will start the quest. The second way is simply to head to the Sacellum of Boethiah. Head there and speak to the Boethiah priestess, who will instruct the player to bring a human sacrifice to Boethiah. You can use anyone for this as long as they will follow you.
We are Lord Boethiah's faithful. Have you come to test your mettle? The Lord of Plots, Deceiver of Nations, Devourer of Trinum, the Queen of Shadows, Goddess of Destruction, He who destroys, and She who erases. If you desire a glimpse of our dark mysteries, then this is what you must do. First, prove your tongue can wield a lie. Find someone, gain his trust, lead him to the shrine above. Next, instruct your thrall to touch the Pillar of Sacrifice. Its magic will ensnare him, rendering him helpless. Then, girded with certitude, plant the ceremonial blade deeply, so that the waters of his heart wash over you.
Find your follower, bring them back to the Sacellum, head up the stairs and ask your follower to use the Pillar of Boethiah. Upon doing so, they will be restrained, where the player will then need to kill them. After doing so, Boethiah will resurrect and possess the corpse of the follower and speak to both the player and the cultists.
Ugh. Wearing flesh is so distasteful.
Among us!
You have caught my attention, mortal. That is most unwise. Listen, all of you! Hear me. I have need of a warrior. Only the most ruthless, cunning, and agile will do. You have gathered here night after night, sacrificing fools upon my shrine, and sparring aimlessly with yourselves. Prove yourselves to me. I have a special task for whichever of you is left standing.
Kill all the cultists, where Boethiah will tell the player to kill her previous champion and claim her Ebony Mail at Knife Point Ridge.
Well done. You have proven the strength of your will and your tongue's gift for lies. You have shown ferocity and prowess in combat. My previous champion displeases me. It is time he is replaced, in the traditional fashion. Kill every single member of his band. Do so as silently and invisibly as you can, for this is not about you. You are to be my instrument in this. Once his corpse lays cold upon the ground, and all trace of his followers erased, retrieve my Ebony Mail, a gift fit only for my true champion.
Head to the bandit camp, kill everyone in there and equip the Ebony Mail. Upon doing so, Boethiah will say her final dialogue.
You have done well, my champion. You have earned my respect, a feat few manage and live to tell about. You may keep my Ebony Mail, a token of my appreciation to my new champion. Its gifts will resonate with your talents.
The Ebony Mail has a base armor of 45 and is considered heavy armor. The Ebony Mail grants a muffle bonus as well as having the unique effect of dealing 5 points of poison damage to nearby enemies per second. The Ebony Mail can also be upgraded with an ebony ingot. Next up is the Mace of Molag Bal. This artifact is a unique mace and is given by the Daedric Prince Molag Bal. This quest has no level requirement and can be done straight away. To start the quest, head into Markarth. You'll need to either exit and re-enter the city or head into one of the buildings and exit again in order for the characters to spawn if this is your first time in Markarth. Once done, head forward from the entrance where you will come across Vigilant Tyrannus who will ask you about the abandoned house.
Excuse me, but do you know anything about this house? Seen anyone enter or leave? Seems no one in this city has. I was actually just about to head on inside. Be good to have someone watch my back.
Investigate the house of Tyrannus where Molag will toy with the player.
Stendarr's mercy. This isn't an ordinary Daedric. We have to get help.
Weak. He's weak. You're strong. Crush him.
You first. Come on. Let's go.
Once Tyrannus is dead, head through the house and back down into the tunnels. Head through and you will come across an altar to Molag Bal as well as a rusted mace. Upon interacting with either objects, you will be trapped when Molag will speak to you.
Fool! Did you think Molag Bal, the Lord of Domination, would so easily reward you? What do you see from that little cage? Speak! Rusted, dry. There was a time when this mace dripped with the blood of the feeble and the worthless. Revenge? No, I want submission. I want the priest who did this to bend his knee and give me his soul. Save him. Let him perform his rite one more time. And when he does, we will be waiting for him.
After being free, you will need to find Lowgrowth, who will spawn in a random Forsworn camp. Head to the camp and rescue Lowgrowth, who will then head back to the abandoned house.
You there? Are you here to kill me? Slay the mighty Lowgrowth, while he sits tied and helpless. So, the King of Corruption sends his messenger to challenge me. Very well. I will meet with Molag Bal, and and I will venerate his altar in Boethia's name as I did before. Cut me loose, minion of the Hated One. I need to get to Markarth.
Head back to the house and wait for Molag to speak.
Think you can best Boethia's faithful? I have won this contest before.
Ah, but I have my own champion this time, Logrolf.
What? You?
Mortal, I give you my mace in all its rusted spitefulness. Crush the spirit from Logrolf's bones. Make him bend to me.
Kill Logrolf with the rusted mace, where Molag will resurrect Logrolf.
You mortals and your frail, limp, pathetic bodies. Try it again.
Beat him again, where Logrolf will submit to Molag.
No more. No more. I submit, Molag Bal. I submit.
You bend to me?
Yes.
You pledge your soul to me?
Yes.
You forsake the weak and pitiful Boethia?
Yes.
You're mine now, Logrolf. Kill him.
Kill him one more time and Molag will give you the Mace of Molag Bal.
The Mace of Molag Bal. I give you its true power, mortal. When your enemies lie broken and bloody before you, know that I will be watching.
The mace has a base damage of 16 and deals an additional 25 points of damage to stamina and magicka. If the target dies within 3 seconds and the player has an adequate empty soul gem, then the mace will capture the soul. The mace can also be upgraded with an ebony ingot. Next up is the Masque of Clavicus Vial. This artifact is a unique piece of headwear and is given by the Daedric Prince Clavicus Vial. You will need to be at least level 10 or above in order to receive the quest. Once you're at the required level, head to Falkreath, where a guard will ask the player if they've seen a dog and that Lord the Blacksmith is offering a reward.
Did you see a dog out there? Oh well. The blacksmith is offering a reward for a dog he saw on the road. I was hoping you'd seen it.
Speak to Lord, who will ask you to capture the dog.
On the road. Fine, strong creature that's been wandering near town. There's one out on the road. I can't afford to chase him down, but I could use a fierce, loyal beast to keep me company. If you are willing to retrieve him for me, I'd give you some fresh meat to attract him out on the road.
Head outside Falkreath, and when outside, the dog Barbus will approach the player and ask for help.
You are exactly what I was looking for. Yeah, I think you'll be just what I need. My master and I had a bit of a falling out. We got into an argument and it got rather heated. He's kicking me out until I find someone who can settle our disagreement. That's where you come in. I know there's a cult that worships him at Hamar's Shame. We should be able to talk to him there.
Head to Hamar's Shame and fight your way through the shrine until you get to the shrine of Clavicus Vial. Speak to Vial and ask him to reunite himself with Barbus.
By all means, let's hear it. It's the least I could do since you already helped me grant one final wish for my last worshippers. That insufferable pup, forget it. Request denied, no deal. I'm glad to be rid of him, even if it does mean I'm stuck in this pitiful shrine in the back end of nowhere. There's an axe. An incredibly powerful axe. An axe powerful enough for me to have quite a bit of fun indeed. If you bring it to me, I'll grant you my boon. No strings attached, no messy surprises. At least not for you.
Head to Rime Rock Burrow and acquire the axe. Once done, head back to Vile where he will give you the choice of keeping the axe if you kill Barbas with it.
Splendid! Ah, but it almost seems a shame to give a weapon like that away, doesn't it? I suppose I could be persuaded to let you keep it. But only if you use the axe to kill Barbas. Simple as that.
Please be aware that you must give Vile the axe, as the Rueful Axe does not count as a Daedric artifact.
You're no fun at all. Guess I'll have to make my own fun elsewhere.
I knew I could trust you.
Yeah, dog gets master, master gets cosmic axe. Everyone's happy. Just get over here, mutt.
Don't worry, I'll make sure he sees the light. I trusted you, now you trust me.
Ah, that feels so much better. You forget how nice supreme power feels until you've been stuck in a cave for a few years. Oh, fine. Have my boon and be done with it. Got more interesting deals to make anyway.
The Masque of Clavicus Vile has a base armor of 23 and is considered heavy armor. The mask provides a bonus of prices being 20% better when wearing the mask, as well as providing a bonus of 10 into speech. Additionally, the mask grants a 5% increase into the player's magicka regeneration. Next up is Mehrunes Razor. This artifact is a unique dagger and is given by the Daedric Prince Mehrunes Dagon. You will need to be at least level 20 or above in order to receive the quest. Once you're at the required level, there are two ways to receive the quest. The first is to be approached by a courier and be given a museum pamphlet which invites the player to see a museum in Dawnstar. The second is simply to head to the museum in Dawnstar yourself. Once at Dawnstar, make your way to the far end house where you will then overhear a brief conversation about the museum.
Your ancestors wouldn't want this, Silas.
Why should I hide from it? This is my family's legacy.
It's the past. Dead oaths on dead lips. Let it stay there.
The museum is opening, Medina.
After the argument, head up the steps and speak to Silas, who will offer you a job.
And here comes my first visitor. The Museum of the Mythic Dawn is open, friend. And here you are. Good. Come in, browse the display and let's talk. I have a job you look perfect for. Let's talk inside.
Head inside the museum and speak to Silas, who will ask you to retrieve the pieces of Mehrunes Razor.
Oh, a little history first. After the Oblivion Crisis, a number of groups cropped up dedicated to wiping out the remnants of the Mythic Dawn. One of these groups found Mehrunes Razor, the artifact of Dagon. They split it into 3 fragments and pledged to keep them apart forever. At least 2 of the owners, Gunzel and Draskua, are dangerous marauders. And the third owner, Jorgen, I only know he lives in Morthal.
The hilt can be found at Morthal. Head there and speak to Jorgen. To acquire the piece, you can either bribe, persuade or intimidate him to give you the keys to his house.
Don't know what you're talking about, stranger. I've heard of him. My father had suspicions about his connection to the Mythic Dawn. Guess they were true. You want the hilt that bad? Fine. Here's the keys. It's locked in a chest inside my house.
If neither of these work, you can always just pick the lock on his house and chest for the hilt. After choosing your method, head on over to Jorgen's house. Once inside, the hilt can be found in a chest. The pommel can be found at Dead Crone Rock. You'll need to start at Hag Rock, which is a forsworn camp, and fight your way through. Once you're at the top, you will come across the Hag-Raven Draskua in front of a word wall. Kill her and loot the pommel from her corpse. Finally, the shards can be found at Cracktusk Keep. Head to the location and enter the keep. You can simply head to the vault, however if you're not a fan of lockpicking, you can head up the stairs and kill Gunzel for his key to the vault. Once you've chosen your method, unlock the cage with the button and enter the vault. Head through and simply pull both levers to open the room. Make your way past the tripwires and traps to loot the shards. Once you have all pieces, head back to Dawnstar and give them to Silas. Please note that if you give him all 3 pieces at once, he will give you an additional amount of gold.
All at once? You're efficient. I like that. Here's your reward. I know how to put all the pieces together. We just need to take them to Dagon's shrine and contact the Lord of Change directly. I'll meet you at the shrine.
Once done, head to the Shrine of Mehrunes Dagon, where Silas will try to communicate with Dagon.
Razor to you. I beg you, please, bring the blade's full glory to Tamriel again.
When that fails, speak with him, where Dagon will tell the player to kill Silas. You will need to side with Dagon if you wish to have the razor.
You, mortal, you are worthy of speaking to. You have claimed the pieces of my razor. It has been an amusing game to witness. Kill Silas. He and his family have served their purpose. Kill him. Take your rightful place as my champion, or I will crush you.
Wait, don't kill me. There's another way. I can take the pieces back to my museum, seal them in a display case. You get a generous amount of gold, I get to complete my collection, and nobody has to die. Fine. I'm not dying without a fight.
Once done, interact with the altar and Dagon will give you the razor.
I am pleased, mortal. I will give you my razor. Use it to wreak havoc on Tamriel. Place your hands on my altar one last time, and you will witness the power of Mehrunes Dagon for yourself.
Before leaving, you will summon 2 Dramoras, kill them, and not only are they a source of Daedra hearts that respawn, but they will have the keys to the shrine which you can enter.
Before you go, mortal, one final challenge.
Mehrunes Razor has a base damage of 11 and can be upgraded with an ebony ingot. The Razor also has a unique enchantment of hits having a 1.98% chance to instantly kill whatever it hits. The enchantment on this weapon never degrades, and the only 2 NPCs immune to its effects are Karstag and Mirak if you have the Dragonborn DLC. Next up is the Oghma Infinium. This artifact is a unique book and is given by the Daedric Prince Hermaeus Mora. You will need to be at least level 15 or above, or you will need to start the quest Elder Knowledge in the main storyline in order to receive the quest. Once you've met either requirements, make your way over to Septimus Cygnus' outpost. Head inside and ask him about Elder Scrolls, where he will then tell you to go to Blackreach and give you an attunement sphere to open the entrance to Blackreach and a lexicon needed for inscribing knowledge.
Will give what you want, but you must bring him something in return. 2 things I have for you. 2 shapes. One edged, one round. The round one for tuning. Dwemer music is soft and subtle, and needed to open their cleverest gates. The edged lexicon for inscribing. To us, a hunk of metal. To the Dwemer, a full library of knowings, but empty.
Once done, head to Ulftand and fight your way through the dungeon until you come to a Dwemer device. Activate it using the sphere where some stairs will lift down. Enter Blackreach and make your way to the Tower of Mazulft. Place the lexicon on the machine and align the machine properly to acquire the Elder Scroll. Once done, make sure to grab the lexicon again, which is now a runed lexicon. Head back to Septimus, who will then ask you to gather blood of the Mer races.
Give it, quickly. Extraordinary. I see it now. The ceiling structure interlocks in the tiniest fractals. The blood of Altmer, Bosmer, Dunmer, Falmer, and Orsimer. The elves still living provide the key. Bear you hence this extractor. It will drink the fresh blood of elves. Come when its set is complete.
Before leaving, Hermaeus Mora will speak to you.
Come closer. Bask in my presence. I am Hermaeus Mora. I am the guardian of the unseen, a knower of the unknown. I have been watching you, mortal. Indeed. Speak with me when the box has been opened, and all shall be revealed.
Next, head to Liar's Retreat. This location has 4 of the 5 blood samples needed for the quest. Head into the den where there will be a farmer already there, simply kill them and harvest their blood. Next to the stairs will be a dead wood elf bandit for blood harvest. Next, head through the door behind the bar, take a left and take a right through a hole in the wall connecting to a cave. Within this passage will be a dead dark elf. Finally, head back to the main den, make your way all the way around and pick the lock on the far right door. Inside the room will be a dead orc. Next, make your way to Halted Stream Camp where you will find a high elf. Make your way to the bandit camp and enter the mine. Head down and past the dead mammoth and take the exit where you will be in a spike pit. In the pit will be a dead high elf for the final blood extraction. Once all blood samples have been collected, head back to Septimus where he will finally unlock the lockbox.
I can almost hear them. I feel their life energy. Come, I will make the mixture.
At the end will be the Oghma Infinium and Septimus will die.
What is this? It's just a book. I can see. The world beyond burns in my mind. It's marvelous.
Simply loot the book that is on the pedestal. Once you read the Infinium, it will boost each skill depending on the category you choose by 5 points permanently. However, doing this will cause the book to be consumed. Finally, talk to Hermaeus one more time to finish the quest.
Come, my champion. Now, you have my Oghma Infinium. It contains the knowledge of the ages, as revealed to Xarxes, my loyal servant. Now, it is in your hands. Let us work wonders together.
Next up is the Ring of Namira. This artifact is a unique ring and is given by the Daedric Prince Namira. There is no level requirement for this quest. To acquire the quest, head to either the Understone Keep in Markarth if it's your first time entering. Once there, you will find Brother Verulus arguing regarding the Hall of the Dead. If he isn't there, try looking outside the entrance to the Hall of the Dead. Speak to him about the incident and ask to assist.
Alright. I was going to suggest the Jarl hire someone to sort this mess out anyway. We've discovered that some of the dead have been eaten. Flesh has been chewed off. Bones were snapped to get at the marrow inside. If you can get to the bottom of this, the priesthood of Arcade will reward you. Take my key, and be careful.
Enter the hall where Aola will speak to you. Eventually she will approach you and assume you are a cannibal like her. If you wish to acquire the artifact, you will need to side with her.
Not fear. It's all right. I will not shun you for what you are. Stay. I will tell you everything you have forgotten.
You were young when you first tasted human flesh, weren't you? A brother or sister had died? An accident, of course. Namira, the Lady of Decay, accepts you for what you are. She has a place for us where we can sate our appetites without judgment. Meet me there. We'll fight our way to Namira's embrace together. Until then, tell the people of Markarth that their dead won't be disturbed anymore. We have bigger plans ahead.
Once done, head back to Verulus and inform him that the hall is safe now.
Divines preserve you. You're a hero. We'll reopen the hall right away. Here, take my amulet as a reward.
Head to Reachcliff Cave and clear out the drawer, get in the cave and in the shrine of Namira. Once done, you will need to go grab Verulus and bring him back to Namira's shrine.
Now we need to prepare a grand feast to welcome you to Namira's coven. A priest filled with the taste of an easy life, Brother Verulus from Markarth. Give him this gold. Tell him you need Arkay's help exploring an old cavern for treasure. And when he stands in Namira's presence, she will take care of the rest.
Well, you are looking for Arkay's protection while you delve some dank tomb, I take it? My duties keep me busy in Markarth. I don't know if I can help you. Treasure, you say? I suppose the Jarl won't mind if I'm gone for a little while. Lead on.
Once you have him, Aola will take over and bring him to the offering table.
I'm your friend.
You're my... friend?
Yes, I'm your friend, and I've invited you to dinner. The meal is on Namira's table. Go ahead, carve.
Kill Verulus and feed on him. Doing so will make Namira speak to you and you will be given the Ring of Namira.
He looks so sweet. Go ahead, have the first bite.
Mortal, I am Namira, the Lady of Decay. Your consumption of the blood and bile of Arkay's own is pleasing to me. I give you my ring. Wear it, and when you feast on the flesh of the dead, I will grant you my power.
The Ring of Namira grants the player a bonus of 50 to stamina. Additionally, if the player feeds on corpses when wearing the ring, they will receive a bonus of 50 to health as well as having a 50% boost to their health regeneration. Next up is Sanguine Rose. This artifact is a unique staff and is given by the Daedric Prince Sanguine. You will need to be at least level 14 or above in order to receive this quest. Once at the required level, enter any tavern in Skyrim where Sam will spawn. Speak to him and he will offer the player a staff for the winner in a drinking game.
Friendly contest to win a staff.
Compete with Sam where you will pass out and end up in Markarth. You will need to retrace your steps from the night prior. Please note that if you wish to skip all of the steps and head to the last step, go to Whiterun and speak to your soldier.
Ha! We'll see about that. This is a special brew. Very strong stuff. Let's get started. You know, you're a fun person to drink with. I know this great little place where the wine flows like water. We should head there. Hey, you don't look so good.
Each character you speak with can either be persuaded, bribed or intimidated to skip their task in order to send you to the next location. However, if you can't do any of these things, first up you'll need to clean up the temple and apologise for the damages.
Of course. You don't remember getting here. I'm guessing you also don't remember coming in here and blathering incoherently about marriage or a goat. Pick up your mess, then apologize. And if we think you're sincere, we'll consider lending you aid.
The priestess will then say to head to Rorikstead.
I suppose that'll do. Dibella teaches us forgiveness after all. Even for a drunk like you. You were ranting when you got here, but most of it was slurred. You did say something about Rorikstead. Maybe you should take a look there.
Once there, you will need to rescue a goat called Gleda for Ennis.
Is that so? Does the name Gleda ring a bell? The star beauty of my farm? Kidnapped by a drunk lout and sold to a giant? You better remember her right fast before I call the guards and have you hauled away. And don't you think of coming back to Rorikstead until you get her back from that giant.
Once done, he will direct you to your soldier in Whiterun.
Gleda! And not a scratch on her. Happy day! I still can't figure out why you stole her. You left a note explaining it, but half of it was gibberish and the rest had mead spilled on it. Only bit I could make out was repaying Isolde in Whiterun, and even that's mostly scribbles. Guess you could try there.
Head there and she will ask you to return the wedding ring she gave you and point you towards Witchmist Grove.
Oh, what's wrong? Did the engagement fall through?
Look, how about we call it even, as long as you bring back the wedding ring, and after you told me that sweet story of how you met in Witchmist Grove, I can see why she left you.
Head there where Moira the Hagraven will be waiting. You will need to kill her in order to get the ring back.
Darling, I've been waiting for you to return, to consummate our love. What? You want it for that hussy Esmeralda with the dark feathers, don't you? I won't let her have you.
Return the ring back to your soldier, who will direct you to Morvenscar.
Excellent. Sorry it didn't work out. I know how excited you were for the wedding. You kept saying it would be a huge ceremony at Morvenscar. You said you even had some magic staff that would handle all of the guests.
Enter the fort and make your way through the mages until you come to a set of steps. Once you climb them, a portal to Sanguine's realm will open. Make your way through and find Sam. Sam will explain what happened and reveal himself to be the Daedric Prince Sanguine. As a reward, he will give you Sanguine Rose artifact.
You're here. I was beginning to think you might not make it. I thought you might not remember your first trip here. You had a big night. I think you've definitely earned the staff. You can throw all those out. You see, I really just needed something to encourage you to go out into the world and spread merriment. I am Sanguine, Daedric Prince of Debauchery. But it wasn't long before I realized you'd make a more interesting bearer of my not-quite-holy staff than this waste of flesh. My pleasure, but I think it's time for you to go. No fun keeping you locked up in here with the staff.
The Sanguine Rose is a unique staff in the shape of a giant rose. Upon using the staff, it will summon a level Dremora depending on the player's level. The Dremora summon can vary from the Dremora Caitiff all the way to the Dremora Valkinaz. The Dremora will fight for the player and will die after 60 seconds. Next up is Saviour's Hide. This artifact is a unique armor piece and is given by the Daedric Prince Hircine. There is no level requirement for this quest. Make your way to Falkreath and enter the Falkreath barracks. Continue through into the far left cell where you will speak to the prisoner Sinding. He will ask the player to help him receive Hircine's favour and to remove the curse from a ring. Offer to help him by taking the ring to Hircine. Please be aware that the ring will be permanently equipped until the player completes the quest, and for players that are werewolves, the ring will cause you to turn into a werewolf randomly.
Come to gawk at the monster. A little girl is dead because of me. It's all on account of this blasted ring. This is the ring of Hircine. I was told it could let me control my transformations. I've been looking for a way to appease Hircine. There is a certain beast in these lands. Large, majestic. It's said that Hircine will commune with whoever slays it. I tracked it into these woods, but then I had my accident with the child. Oh my. You would do this for me? Here, take it. I don't want anything to do with this wretched thing anymore. Seek out the beast. He wanders these woods. Bring him down and the Lord of the Hunt should smile on you.
Head out to Falkreath and track down a white stag and kill it, where Hircine will then talk to you.
Well met, Hunter. I am the spirit of the hunt. Just one glimpse of the glorious stalker that your kind calls Hircine. The one who stole it has fled to what he thinks is his sanctuary. Just as a bear climbs a tree to escape the hunt, but only ends up trapping himself. Seek out this rogue shifter. Tear the skin from his body and make it an offering to me.
Next, head to Bloated Man's Grotto and confront Sinding. If you wish to receive the Ring of Hircine as a reward, you will need to spare Sinding. This ring will allow the player to turn into a werewolf an unlimited amount of times per day. However, if you wish to receive the Saviour's Hide, you will need to kill Sinding. Both items count as Daedric Artifacts, so it will not lock you out of the achievement. After confronting him, chase him down, kill him and skin him. Doing so, Hircine will speak to you and grant you the Saviour's Hide.
You've done well, Hunter. and found my favor. That skin will serve you well, child. Look more closely at it. My glory shall protect you from all this world's grievances. Good hunting.
Saviour's Hide is a unique piece of light armor and has a base armor of 26. The armor also increases the player's magicka resistance by 15% as well as the player's poison resistance by 50%. The armor can also be upgraded with some leather but requires ebony smithing as well as the arcane blacksmith perk. Next up is the Skull of Corruption. This artifact is a unique staff and is given by the Daedric Prince Vermina. Make your way to Dawnstar and enter the Wind Peak Inn. Inside you will find the priest Aranda trying to solve the nightmare problem of Dawnstar.
Listen to your friend, Fuki. They are just dreams, my dear. I assure you that it is quite normal.
Offer to help, we will travel to Nightcaller Temple together.
These dreams are manifestations created by the Daedric Lord, Vermina. She has an awful hunger for our memories. In return, she leaves behind nightmares. Not unlike a cough marks a serious illness. I need to return to the source of the problem, to Nightcaller Temple. Perhaps you'd be willing to assist me in that regard.
Once inside, he will explain more of the past of the tower.
And I'll have this open.
Continue through the temple where you will see the skull.
Now I can show you the source of the nightmares. Over here. Behold the Skull of Corruption, the source of Dawnstar's woes.
Continue down some more steps where a barrier has been erected to stop access.
When the miasma was released. Impossible, actually. I wonder. I still have my key to the library. Whenever you're ready, let's move on.
Head through the library and find the potion known as Vermina's Torpor. Head back to Aranda and drink it, where you will be sent to the past where you play as a priest who released the miasma.
Well done. I wasn't certain you'd even know what to look for. So, I've taken us this far, but you need to guide us the rest of the way. Drink.
The orcs have breached the inner sanctum, Brother Varada.
We must hold. We can't allow the skull to fall into their hands.
But no more than a handful of us remain, brother.
Then we have no choice. The miasma must be released.
Once done, the player will head back to the present where you can disable the barrier.
It worked. Mara be praised.
Fight your way through the temple until you get to the bottom floor. You will need to fight the previous friends of Aranda.
Baron, Thoric, you're alive. No thanks to you, Casimir. I no longer use that name. I'm Aranda, priest of Mara. You're a traitor. You left us to die and then ran before the miasma took you. No, I was scared. I wasn't ready to sleep. Enough of your lies. I can't allow you to destroy the skull, priest of Mara. Then you leave me no choice. How could you, Aranda?
Once Aranda starts the spell to destroy the skull, Vermina will talk to the player and tell them to kill Aranda and take the skull. If you wish to acquire the skull, you will need to side with Vermina.
Grant me the power to break through this barrier and to send the skull to the depths of oblivion.
He's deceiving you. When the ritual's complete, the skull will be free, and then Aranda will turn on you. Quickly, kill him now. Kill him and claim the skull for your own. Vermina commands you.
The staff has a base damage of 20, however if the player casts the staff on a sleeping NPC, the staff will collect their dreams, allowing the staff to deal 50 points of damage per attack instead. Next up is Spellbreaker. This artifact is a unique shield and is given by the Daedric Prince Periite. You will need to be at least level 10 or above in order to receive the quest. Once you're at the required level, there are two ways to receive the quest. The first is to find an afflicted NPC found around Skyrim. If the player talks to them, they will talk about the disease they have and about Periite, and suggest talking to Kesh at Periite's shrine.
Are you finished ogling the grotesque? I suppose I should be grateful you didn't simply attack me. I am one of the afflicted. I'd have been dead from this plague a year ago if not for Periite's protection. Kesh could tell you more. I just want out of Skyrim as quickly as possible.
The second method is simply to head over to Periite's shrine straight away and speak to Kesh. When speaking to Kesh, ask him if he can commune with Periite, and he will need you to gather some vampire dust, a death bell flower, a silver ingot and a flawless ruby.
Ah, a wanderer, yes. No, pilgrim perhaps. You have come to commune with Periite, Taskmaster and Blighted Lord, yes? Yes, the incense. Fetch for me a death bell flower, 1 silver ingot, a flawless ruby, and some vampire dust. Then I will show you how.
Once you return with the items, Kesh will use the items to create a fume for the player to inhale.
Ah, have you? Let Kesh have them. Yes, this will create a fine fume. That should do. Now, inhale deeply.
Once you do, Periite will talk to you.
Breathe deep, mortal. I would have you hear me well. So let these vapors fill your lungs. I sent a blessing to Mundus, a wasting plague that infected a scattering of Breton villages. One of my monks, the elf Orchendor, was sent to gather these afflicted. He shepherded them into Bathardoms for me, but has since lost his way. Go now. Kill Orchendor.
Once done, head to Bathardoms, fight your way through the ruin until you get to Orchendor. Kill him and return to Periite. After returning, Periite will give the player Spellbreaker.
Well done, mortal. All things are in their order, and Orchendor roams the pits. His betrayal will be punished, and your obedience is rewarded.
Spellbreaker is a heavy shield and has a base armor of 38. Spellbreaker can be upgraded with a dwarven ingot and upon blocking creates a ward-like effect capable of blocking spell damage up to 50 points. The shield can also be used to block dragon attacks as well as Draugr shouts. Next up is Volendrung. This artifact is a unique warhammer and is given by the Daedric Prince Malakath. You will need to be at least level 9 or above in order to receive the quest. Once you're at the required level, head on over to the Orc stronghold Largashbur. Once you're there, you will need to help the tribe kill a giant. Once done, the tribe will ask the player for troll fat and a Daedra heart in order to commune with Malakath. Give the required items and watch the interaction between Malakath and the Orc chief Yamaz.
Please, our tribe suffers, and we need help. Our chief Yamaz was once a strong and proud warrior. Now he is stricken, cursed. I beg of you, can you bring me troll fat and a Daedra heart? I have no wish to depend on a stranger, but I have no choice.
An outsider here, and now insist I call on Malakath for help, when he has clearly forsaken me. You try my patience, Atub. Fine. Let's get this over with. Why are we bothering with this?
You pathetic weakling! You let giants overrun my shrine! Bring me their leader's club as an offering, and I might release you from this curse.
Head to Fallowstone Cave and help your Mars reach the giant leader. You can either tell your Mars to kill the giant, which will result in his death, or kill it yourself for your Mars.
I'm tired. I haven't slept well in weeks. You kill the giant. Bring me the hammer. We go back to Lagershbur. I tell everyone I did it.
If you choose to kill the giant for him after returning to him, he will turn on the player, which will result in you having to kill him. Malakath will instruct the player to return to Lagershbur. Once there, inform the tribe of your Mars' fate and put the giant's club on the altar.
Your Mars was a fool, always trying to scheme his way out of responsibility. Now, take Shagrel's hammer back to Lagershbur, and we'll see about whipping the rest of them into shape.
But what of your Mars? I see. He did not survive. He died well?
You place that hammer on the shrine. You're the only one who's proven worthy in all of this.
Malakath will then spawn Volendrung on the shrine in place of the giant's club. Volendrung has a base damage of 25 and can be upgraded via an ebony ingot. Volendrung also deals 50 points of stamina damage per hit. The final Daedric artifact is the Wabbajack. This artifact is a unique staff and is given by the Daedric Prince Sheogorath. There is no level requirement for this quest. Head on over to Solitude and make your way halfway between Solitude and the Blue Palace and speak to Dervenin. He will request for you to find his master and say to head to the Pelagius wing in the Blue Palace.
You'll help me. You help people, right? That's what you do. My master has abandoned me. Abandoned his people. And nothing I say can change his mind. Last I saw him, he was visiting a friend in the Blue Palace. But no one as mundane as a Jarl. No. Such people are below him. Oh, and you'll need the hip bone. It's very important. No entering Pelagius's wing without that.
Head into the Blue Palace and speak to one of the maids for the key to the wing.
Oh, hello. Just tidy. Oh, I'd get in trouble for that. It's not allowed. Besides, it's scary in there. Well, I suppose in that case it's okay to let you in. But only briefly. Be careful and come right back.
Head into the wing and head up to the second floor. Once up there, the player will be transported into Pelagius's mind. Speak to the prince and ask him to come back off of his vacation.
How rude! Can't be bothered to host an old friend for a decade or two. Were you now? By whom? Wait! Don't tell me. I want to guess. Was it Molag? No. Little Tim. The Toymaker's son, huh? Huh? The ghost of King Lysandus? Or was it one? Yes! Stanley, the talking grapefruit from Passwall! Ha ha! Sheogorath, Daedric Prince of Madness, at your service. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave. That's right, I'm done. Holiday complete. Time to return to the humdrum day-to-day. On one condition. You have to find the way out first. Well, good luck with that.
Head down the Path of Dreams. The player will need to use the Wabbajack to strike sleeping Pelagius, and with each night terror you need to use the staff to transform the terror into something more friendly.
Well, now that's something to crow about. With Pelagius up and about, you're moving right along. We'll both be home in no time.
Next, head down the Path of Anger Issues to fix Pelagius' confidence. The player must use the staff on Pelagius to grow his confidence as well as repelling the spectres.
Wonderfully done! Pelagius is finally ready to love himself and continue hating everyone else.
Finally, head down the Path of Paranoia. Once at the arena, use the staff on Pelagius' bodyguards who will transform into wolves and kill Pelagius.
Oh, I thought you'd never figure it out! With the threat gone, Pelagius is under the delusion that he's safe, which means you've helped him out. Sort of. And we're that much closer to home.
Once done, head back to Sheogorath, which he will return from his vacation and summon Dervenin. Sheogorath will then give the Wabbajack to the player as a reward.
Fixed is such a subjective term. I think treated is far more appropriate, don't you? Let's make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Clothes? Check. Beard? Check. Luggage? Luggage? Now where did I leave my luggage?
Master, you've taken me back. Does this mean we're going home? Oh, happy times. I can't wait to...
Yes, that's quite enough celebration. Let's send you ahead, shall we? As for you, my little mortal minion, feel free to keep the Wabbajack as a symbol of my... I'll just take the damn thing.
The Wabbajack has no base damage and inflicts effects on whatever NPC it hits that can either help or hinder the player, as it reflects Sheogorath's nature. Some of the effects you can trigger is dealing shock, ice or fire damage, transforming the NPC into an animal, turning an NPC invisible, instantly killing an enemy or healing them, among some other effects. And there we have all Daedric artifacts within Skyrim. I hope you find this video helpful, and as always, thank you for watching.